Hey, what's up, guys? This is Rapid Fills here, and today I'm bringing you a new video. It's a trade recap slash a video lesson about a big C that I traded today. I got asked a couple questions, and I was talking to one of the traders, and he said glad that somebody actually traded this sticker. So, making this video to explain some of the points that you need to know. As always, I always start from top down, so from the daily to small time frames. You can see this stock IPO'd on the 5th of August, moved up, a huge moves up, by the way, from 67 to 103 in 2 days, essentially. Pulled back, and then started ramping up. Now, all these moves are going on lower volume than today. Reason why today got a little bit of volume, or a lot of volume essentially, is because they had some kind of news with it had some kind of news with Facebook, or a plugin or an integration with Instagram or something like that. Anyways, when a low float, essentially this is a low float, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it has 16 million shares. 16 million shares with a lot of demand. That's not uh, a recipe to short on news. Especially something like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. Be careful shorting if you, for some reason, want to short that stock. Anyways, reason why I have these yellow lines is because these are key lines. So if we go to a 1 minute, it gives you more an idea of what I essentially did. Uh, Pull back. The stock pulled back. I started buying the dips, right? Buying and selling. I didn't really hold, and then this thing squeezed. I shorted, and then I bought again, and then I bought, flipped, covered, short, covered. I was only scalping with low shares because the volatility is there, and the stock is spready too. So when the stock is spready, actually you can get, for somebody that has a direct access like me, with IB, you can get filled on the bid and on the ask. Therefore, my fills are better compared to somebody that's just hitting the bid and the ask. And this is one of the things that you want to really pay attention to. You do not want to trade these stocks and hitting the bid and ask. And essentially, if you're buying a breakout on these, um, you're really buying like top ticks on the candles. You're not really like here. I'm bailing out. It's a top. It's probably me hitting the bid or the ask. Anyways, so essentially that's what I did. And this is not how I traded the stock. Obviously, as you guys know, uh, I trade the stock on these charts right here. So I have all my indicators and everything else, and I'll walk you through what I was thinking. Mainly, these plays are based off of my level 2. I'm just reading the level 2 and the bid and the ask and tape and seeing the sizes and whatnot, and I'm just figuring out where is the stock going next. Essentially, the stock just came here, and I saw a bidder. Uh, these are like dollars. Every black line you see here is a dollar, so it's huge. Like the profits, I mean, not the profits, but the movements of the stock are huge, and that's why I said you really need to have direct access to actually trade something like this. uh, as you can see, this moving average right here, it held the price action, so I bought, started selling, bought, started selling, and then it popped up, it started selling off, so I shorted against that. I don't think this has the, let's see, we gotta add one more indicator here, which is pivots, because I shorted against the pivots, I believe. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so that it just rejected the pivot, and then I covered, and then I started holding. Now it's holding the breakout, right? It's held the breakout. I bought and I scalped that. Now here it looks like it just held that pivot, which is the breakout zone again. Um, turned around and I sold my position. I shorted against it, covered, shorted, covered, or shorted, added. Now my stop is right here, obviously. Now I started shorting into, I started covering into this dip. Now here, this is my green line is the 50. Now I didn't touch anything when it bounced off of the 50. I didn't go long and I didn't go short for a reason. This stock just went from 76 to 103. That's a lot. That's a lot of movement. Okay, if I was an investor and I bought right here, I'm probably gonna sell intraday. Anyways, or if I bought intraday, I would have probably sold it because that's a lot. Anyways, this thing just bounced all the way to the yellow line. Now at this point, the yellow line is the all-time high for the stock. So, and that's why I have that yellow line. Anyways, the stock just went all the way to that yellow line and now started dipping again. I did not touch all this action, even though this is a great breakdown or a fake breakup. I did not touch this all the way until it broke the 50, and it kind of gave me the idea. Let me bring the pivots again. So I broke the pivot and I kind of took a quick short, and then it popped back up. I took another short and I started shorting, covered into VWAP, and then I started noticing size. Now it bounced here off of the pivot, and then now we have a pivot and we have a VWAP. I started buying off of these dips. Now I'm buying the dips and I'm selling the rips, right? Buying, buying, buying. And then here, when I started rejecting that other pivot, I started shorting against it. And that's exactly what I did. I just shorted against it, short it, and when it gets here, I flip and I go long. So essentially, I was playing this bounce between those two pivots, literally all day long, guys. And this is just the power of observation. You just observe what's going on, you read the tape, you see if it actually makes sense or not. And I just started shorting and then buying the dips, shorting and buying the dips, shorting and buying the dips. And I even posted it on my Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, let's see. So if you go to, like always, if you go to Rapid Fills, at Rapid Fills on Twitter, and you go to my my feed, and I said, "Is it time, Big C?" And I post this picture right here. The picture just shows you that this thing is about to squeeze, right? And I'm looking for that long setup. And literally, we were like yo-yoing between those two pivots and the VWAP, but it was putting a higher highs and higher lows. So you can see it right here. You see how those dips are higher and higher and higher, and this is kind of gearing up. And then when I left to the gym, this thing decides to take off without me. So I should have left to the gym earlier. Anyways, this is tomorrow definitely in play. Keep an eye on it. Probably what I want to see on this, I'll kind of give you guys an idea of how I trade. Essentially, I'm looking for a short on this. Preferably, it's already gapping up, so hopefully it holds that gap up. I want to see a ramp up like that for it to actually come down a little bit. So we have this pivot right here that we can maybe short against it if that comes in, and if that gives us an idea, if that gives us a good risk to reward ratio play. Again, this one, it was just literally just yo-yoing all day, and I was trading it as an ATM all day, just buying dips and selling rips, or selling against that prior pivot and short. I know this is a different type of video that what I usually do, but one thing to know about these, when a big news come in with a big name like Facebook, Instagram, Google, Amazon, Boeing, I don't know, stuff like this, really be careful when that name is associated with a low flow stock or low floats in general. Low flow, something like this with higher price range, so like it's in the 90s and 100s, and then has 16 million shares as float for the market, and it has good news, this thing most likely going to rip. So watch out. I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, let me know. As usual, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one.